All right. So this, the first screen right here, it's kind of boring, but it's the, what I do is I open a Google document every morning, and then I choose the levels that I'm going to chart for the day by using the bot and some of the shortcuts in the bot. So just an easy shortcut, if you haven't thought of this, is there's the TradingView list command. You should pre-fill out that TradingView list command with the equities or the tickers that you want ahead of time. Then you could just copy and paste and put it into the bot and get your levels a lot quicker. So you can see at the top, I have one for gold, RTY, CL, natural gas, and copper as an example. And I'll just copy and paste that, and then I'll go through. And what I do is I have my regular levels. So these are the levels that are the MenthorQ levels that I'm going to chart. But then you see this next one highlighted here is blind spots. So I like to chart the blind spots also. So I'll pull up all those blind spots. And then we have a community member. His name is Killapips. And he puts every day, he prints the VIX blind spots. And so those are, to me, those have been really interesting levels. And I've been looking at the VIX levels as they relate to the price movement and charting the VIX levels. I'm going to show you that here in a second, because I feel like I get a lot of value and significance out of paying attention to that. So I'm going to show you that here in just a second. So can everybody see my NQ screen?
Yeah.
So I'm going to hide the MenthorQ levels and show you the VIX levels. So these are the VIX levels that come up in the morning. And so you see, for example, I've got the VIX call resistance, gamma wall, and VIX one-day move max printed on the NQ down here. And I've used the highlighter here, which you can use to highlight, to create some shading that tells me that's a zone or that's an area of interest for me. So you see up here at the top, whoops, let me get rid of that. Delete. Up here at the top, we've got a VIX put support level. And so I've highlighted both of those so that I can have those on my chart. I'm going to hide the VIX levels then and show you the blind spot levels. So these are the blind spot levels that we get from Patrick every day. And I'll go through and I'll highlight each one of them. Looks like I missed blind spot 6 this morning on my plan. So I'm just going to go re-highlight that right there. And the blind spots here that were there. So I'll do that each morning before I get started in trading. And over here on the left side, I come from a volume profile background. So I always have a volume profile on my screen. And I find it really interesting to see how the various MenthorQ levels sort of predict the build out that's going to happen on these particular volume profile levels. So that's kind of interesting to me. So then I'll hide those. And so now I have my roadmap where the blind spot VIX levels that I find are interesting areas are in the background. And then I keep the MenthorQ levels open on the day. Notice I've hidden all the GEX levels. There's a lot of them. I follow a lot of tickers, and so I just try to keep it more to simplify it for myself by getting rid of the GEX levels. Like if you ever look at gold, you're going to see levels every $10 on those strike prices. So I don't find a lot of value in them. So you can see on the NQ what my roadmap was for the day, and then I'll often here on this 30-minute time frame, I'll look at the levels, decide where I might want to take a trade. I have I'm working on my short trading. I have kind of an aversion to short trading for whatever reason, but I do plan for them. Today I was planning on a long down here and down here if we were able to hit put support. I actually didn't take this trade today because if you look at it on a 3-minute time frame, when we were down here, we were a little bit in between the levels, and I didn't feel like there was enough price action for me to take that trade. So you can see the same thing. So that's an NQ. And then if we go to ES, you've got the same thing. Another strategy that I'll employ, if I can recognize early on that it's kind of a chop day, not really a trend day, where we're going to be moving in between levels, then I find the MenthorQ levels for the 1-day max and the 1-day min to be really great levels to do a 0 DTE or maybe a short day DTE, maybe 2-3 days iron condor, where I'll sell some calls up here and some puts down here. And then that'll always happen somewhere around the 8:30 to 9 o'clock time frame. And then I'll just let the decay, I'll set a price target. And when the decay hits my profit target, then my trade will automatically go off. And of course, sometimes you have to really monitor that. I have a long-term iron condor in the RTY, and my calls are up here around the 300 level. This is a 120-day RTY iron condor that I put on about 2 months ago, and the RTY started taking off. So I was deep into drawdown with that particular one. And so what that means is I'm going to have to hedge like a market maker around this area and start going long so that I can hedge my exposure if the RTY breaches the 300. But it's really great that you can see all of this with these levels. So recognizing that these are short-term levels, there's still there's guys like me out there with 3-month calls that are in the 300 range.